Good morning, students. Today in class 4 general science session we will revise about water and weather. Children, as you all know, water is the basic necessity of life. We cannot live without water. All living things, whether it be plants or animals, all need water to drink. Water is also used for other purposes like bathing, washing, brushing teeth, as you can see in this next slide. See here, uses of water. It is used for drinking, washing hands, brushing teeth, bathing, cooking, and watering plants and other things also. Nowadays, you have to keep on washing your hands with soap and water, and also keep drinking water. Okay, children? Now, what are the sources of water? From where do we get water? Yes, children, we get water from many sources. Some sources are on surface of the earth like river, lakes, ponds, etc. And some are underground water resources like wells. In fields, you must have seen water being pumped out through hand pumps and all. So they all take out underground water to the surface. You all know that water is so essential that even our food, our fruits, vegetables, they also contain water. Even our body, it contains 70% water. Okay, children? All the fruits which you eat, juicy fruits, salad, cucumber, tomatoes, all these fruits and vegetables, they contain water. So, without water, life is impossible. Okay, children? You know that our earth is known as blue planet. Why? Because 3/4 part of the earth's surface is covered with water. So it appears blue if you will watch it from the space. 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with ocean water, sea water. But that sea water cannot be used for drinking. Why? Because it is salty. We cannot drink salty water. Okay, children? Now there are different states of water. The water which is easily available to you, which you drink, is in liquid form. Okay? So the water is liquid. But many times, what do? You put the water in trays and put it in the freezer and it freezes to ice. That ice you use to cool your summer drinks like cold drinks, which you use in summers, like fruit juices and all. You put ice in it, they become cool and you relish them in the summers, hot summers. So that is the solid form, ice. And if you boil this water, like early in the morning, your mother boils water for tea, for making tea. So we boil water, and you must have seen that when water starts boiling, steam comes out. That means the liquid form of water has changed into its gaseous form. Okay? So steam is the gaseous form of water. So let's read this. Water is liquid, but if you keep it in the freezer of refrigerator, it changes into ice. Ice is the solid form of water. And if you boil the water, it changes into steam. Steam is the gaseous form of water. So you can conclude that water has three states: solid, liquid and gas. Means it exists in all three states. So hence we conclude that water has three states. In the form of ice or snow, it is in the solid state. In the form of water, it is in the liquid state. In the form of water vapor or steam, it is in the gaseous state. Is it clear, children? Solid, liquid and gas. Water exists in all three states of matter. These are the three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. And water is such an element which exists in all the three forms. Now, what is so interesting about these three states of matter, of water? It is that these three states of water can interchange. Means solid form of water can change to liquid, liquid form of water can change into steam, gas form, and vice versa. Understood? Like you can see in this diagram, solid can change to liquid, liquid can change to gas, gas can change to liquid, and liquid can again change to solid. Means there is a complete cycle in which they can interchange their states of matter. So all the three states of water, ice, water and water vapor, are interconvertible. Means they can change their form from one solid to liquid, liquid to gas, or gas to liquid, liquid to solid. It means that the three states can change into each other. Solid, ice can change to liquid, that is water, and liquid can change to gaseous state, that is steam or water vapor. Have you understood this, children? See in this picture. In the middle you can see glass of water. This water remains liquid between 0 degree and 100 degrees centigrade. You need not worry much about degrees just now. Just understand that at room temperature it is liquid. But when you put it in freezer, it becomes ice. And if you put it on a gas stove and boil it, it will change into gas form. Now you can see these arrows. The arrows are going in both the directions, right also and left also. That means they are interconvertible. Means ice can change to water and water can change to ice. Similarly, water can change to steam and steam can change back to water. How is it possible? Let's understand. You have to understand few terms, one of which is evaporation. Now what is evaporation? See here. The process by virtue of which liquid state of water changes to water vapor on heating is called evaporation. Like you can see in this picture, this boy has kept water in a kettle and put it on the gas stove and started heating it. what will you see? After some time, the steam will come out from its spout, and you can see that hot water vapor or hot steam coming out. So the process of conversion of water into vapor by heating is called evaporation. You can experience this common, this is very common experience. Means you take a pan, put water in it and put it on the gas stove and switch it on. Okay, so you will see after some time that water starts boiling and the steam is coming out. If you put your hand above the container, but please be very careful because steam is very hot. Okay, it can burn your hand. So with your adults guidance, you can feel the steam or see the steam. Is it clear, children? Don't do it alone. There should be an adult with you. Okay, so this is called evaporation. Next term is condensation. What is condensation? The reverse of evaporation is condensation. Okay, yeah, opposite of evaporation is condensation. Just read the definition, then I'll explain you. The process by virtue of which the gaseous state of water changes back to the liquid state of water on cooling is called condensation. In evaporation, you had provided heat. You had heated the water. But here what you will do, you can see the kettle is on the stove and the steam is coming out from its spout. So, and this plate which you can see, there is some ice over it because they want to cool this steam. So this hot steam, when it strikes that cool plate, it cools down and changes into water, which is collected in this container here. So this is the process of condensation. The hot steam on cooling, when it touches the surface of the plate, it cools down, changes back to water. Have you understood, children? This is called condensation. Now next term is freezing. This is a very common experience. Everyone freezes water and makes ice with it. Now let's read the definition. The process by virtue of which the liquid state of water changes to solid state, that is ice of water, on cooling is called freezing. So you pour water in the tray, ice tray, put that ice tray in the freezer, and after some time that water freezes and becomes ice cubes. Is it clear, children? This is called freezing. Now children, this evaporation, condensation and precipitation, I'll explain you as the term comes. These three processes keeps on going in the nature naturally also. How? Let's see. In nature, evaporation, condensation, precipitation keeps on going naturally. Water in the water bodies like oceans, rivers, it keeps on evaporating due to the heat of the sun. It is so warm that water evaporates from the water bodies naturally. It goes high in air and cools down to form drops of water. The water vapor rises and then they travel, and when they go up in the sky, they cool down. Okay, children? And then they make the water droplets collect with each other and they make clouds. These clouds travel and become heavy with water, and then on further cooling, precipitation takes place. Now what is precipitation? When these clouds become heavy, they cannot hold more water. When they cannot hold more water, the water comes down as rain. This is called precipitation. And the water come down as rain. This is called water cycle. I'll explain it further with a diagram. You can see in this picture, this is a water body. Imagine, suppose it is a river or an ocean, and you can see some red arrows going up. This means that water is evaporating and forming clouds. Then you can see some red arrows going towards the left, means they are traveling and the clouds are becoming heavy with water. And when they cannot hold any more water, the water droplets of the clouds, they come down, precipitate, means they come down as rain. You can see the arrows coming down, red arrows, means water is coming down back to earth. This rain is very important for us. We get water from the rains. The plants get life in the form of rain water, and some water is used up, and some water which is extra, it flows back to the water bodies. Okay, children? So this cycle keeps on going. Evaporation, condensation, then precipitation. This is called water cycle. Now children, we'll revise about weather. What is weather? The atmospheric conditions around us, it is called weather. It changes from day to day and from hour to hour. Like in the morning, the weather is very pleasant. You like to take a walk, cool breeze is blowing. But as the day progresses, it becomes very hot, very warm. Especially in Rajasthan, in Kota, loo starts blowing. Loo means warm wind, hot winds. They are called loo. They start blowing. So you stay indoors with coolers and air conditioners on. And in the evening, again, it becomes pleasant. We go out and play. So weather changes from day to day and from hour to hour. The condition of weather depends on the sun, the clouds, the wind and the rain. All these four factors, they determine the weather. Okay, children? Now first we'll study about the sun. Children, sun is very important for us, for our life. Okay? Without sun also we cannot live. The sun gives us heat and light. Do you know that our elders, they tell us to go and play in the morning sun, morning times. Afternoon, of course, they tell you to stay indoors. But during the morning hours, they say go and sit in the sun for a while so that your body may soak the sunlight. Why? This sunlight is very important for our body because our body can make vitamin D only in the presence of sunlight. Is it clear, children? So a little amount of sunlight is also very important for us. During summers, the sun is quite hot. Now the summers are approaching, going on. April month is almost over. May is coming. May and June are quite hot in Kota. So you all know how hot the summers are. So what do we like during these times? We like to sit or play under the shade of trees. Drink lots of water. Yes or no? Okay. So during summers, we like to sit in the shade of trees, under the shade of trees and drink lots of water. But in winters, yes, In winters we feel very cold and we like to go out in the sun, okay, and enjoy the sunshine. Similarly, during the day, the position of the sun is overhead. You must have seen that the position of sun keeps on changing during the entire day. The sun does not move. It is our earth that moves, but to us it feels like as if the position of sun is changing. Means position sun is moving, but it is not so. So in the morning you see that sun is very low in the sky and we don't feel so warm. We go out in the morning, we play and do our work. It is pleasant in the morning time. But as the day progresses, the sun comes overhead and it shines brightly. And then we start feeling very warm or hot and we prefer to stay indoors. Okay? But then again in the evening, what happens? The sun comes low. The sun starts setting and it comes low in the sky, and again it loses its warmth and it becomes pleasant and we don't feel as warm as in the daytime. Okay, children? The next factor which determine the weather are the clouds. You must have seen sometimes the day is very cloudy, and when the day is cloudy there is no sunlight. Why? Because the clouds, they do not allow the sun rays to reach the earth, and because the sun rays are not reaching the earth, we feel cool. Okay, we feel cool on such days. But what happens when there are clouds in the night? Cloudy days feel cooler, but it is opposite in the night. If the nights are also cloudy, the clouds will envelop the earth and they will not allow the heat of the earth to pass into the atmosphere. So the heat is trapped inside on the earth and we feel warm. So cloudy nights are warmer than a clear night. Have you understood, children? Cloudy days and cloudy nights, how they differ? Cloudy days, we feel cool on cloudy days, but a cloudy night is warmer than a clear night. Another factor that affects weather is rain. After the hot summers, we all love rains, showers of rain. We welcome the showers of rain. Yes or no? Children like to go out and play in the rains. So, why? Because the rain makes the temperature fall and the weather becomes cool. When the temperature comes down, the weather will become cool, and so we love the showers of rain. But in winters, it is already so cold, and if the rain comes, again the temperature will fall. So if there are rains in winters, it becomes extremely cold. Next is the wind. Wind is another important factor which determines weather. You cannot see air. Can you? No. Nobody can see air. But we can feel it. When it moves, we can feel it. So the moving air is called wind. Sometimes these winds are very strong. Very strong winds blow. That is called during a storm. That is called a storm. So such strong winds are called gales. And during rainy season, many times the news comes in the newspaper, strong winds are blown, the storm is coming in Odisha. So what happens during storms? During strong winds, when they blow, they cause damage to the property. Trees get uprooted, poles, telephone poles, electricity poles, they all get uprooted and lie down on the road and obstruct. And many people also, they get stuck due to these trees and poles, and many, they cause damage to life and property. Okay. Now we have studied that these factors, sun, wind, rain, clouds, they determine the weather. And as the weather changes, our lifestyle also changes. Okay, like in summers. Summers are going on. You all like to drink cool soft drinks, juices, ice creams. You enjoy them. So in summers we like to enjoy cold drinks, ice creams, and wear light clothes. We like to sit in the room coolers and air conditioners. And we wear light clothes, means light colored clothes, cotton clothes. Okay, because we feel comfortable in cotton clothes during summers. In winters, we enjoy hot drinks like soups, tea, coffee. Yes or no? We like to eat hot piping food and wear dark colored clothes, because dark colored clothes, they absorb heat from the atmosphere and keep our body warm. We wear woolen clothes. Yes or no? Then the next type of weather is rainy season. We all enjoy rainy season. We like to eat hot pakoras. We ask mummy to prepare various dishes. Mummy, bread pakoras and all different types of pakoras with hot tea, coffee, soup. We enjoy. But sometimes the rainy season we feel uncomfortable also. Why? Yes, because whenever we have to go out, we have to use umbrella, raincoats, gumboots, etc. Without that, we cannot go out, because if you will not take umbrella or raincoat, etc., you will get wet and you will catch cold. Okay, so these seasons, according to the weathers, different weathers, we change our lifestyle also. Understood, children?